The girl is carefully observing the photo in front of her. Suddenly, a man appears behind her. It turns out the girl is a student at the FBI Academy, and the man is the head of the behavioral science unit. This time, the man has called the girl to investigate a criminal. The criminal is highly skilled in his methods, and the police paid a great price to capture him. The man hopes the girl can talk to and study him. The girl follows the officer to the detention area. Before entering, the officer tells the girl about the criminal's violent past, and then advises her not to let him manipulate her. Soon, the girl meets the criminal. From the girl's few words, the criminal deduces her family background. The girl tries to remain calm, but the criminal sneers at the investigation form she brought. He angrily tells the girl to leave, but the prisoner in the next cell, Max, suddenly throws something at her. The criminal shouts and calls the girl back. He says he will give the girl a chance for promotion, then hints she should find his former patient, Miss Murphy. The girl returns to the detention area. The criminal concernedly asks about her injuries and passes her a towel through a drawer. They talk about the head found in the warehouse. The criminal says the victim was once his patient, but he conceals the identity of the killer. Then he changes the topic, asking about the girl's relationship with the man. He tells the girl he has been imprisoned for 8 years and will never be released. He can provide information about the criminal, Bill, in exchange for being transferred to a federal prison away from Dr. Chilton. Meanwhile, Bill commits another crime. He hides in the shadows, watching a woman driving. Then he disguises himself as a disabled person, moving a sofa alone. A kind-hearted girl steps forward to help, but as she gets into the car, something unexpected happens. Bill knocks her out. In the car, the girl asks the man about his true purpose. It turns out he wants to rely on the criminal's expertise to catch Bill. The man says he didn't inform her in advance to avoid her being manipulated by the criminal. The TV broadcasts information about the girl who was captured yesterday. She is the daughter of a congresswoman. The congresswoman releases childhood photos of her daughter, hoping to move the criminal and get her daughter back safely. The girl and her colleagues also see the TV. She goes to talk to the criminal for the third time. The girl tells him that if he is willing to help the police, his situation will greatly improve. But this time, the criminal demands information in exchange. The girl lost her mother when she was young, and her father was murdered when she was 10. She lived with a ranch owner, but ran away 2 months later. The criminal tells her that Bill thinks he has a transvestic disorder, but his real condition is much worse. Their conversation is always monitored by the police. Dr. Chilton also decides to cooperate with the criminal. The man gives them some information, but says he will only tell the rest to the congresswoman. Under police arrangements, the criminal meets the congresswoman, but his mocking tone angers her. As she turns away in anger, he suddenly reveals information about the criminal. The girl comes to visit the criminal who has been transferred. She brings his previous artwork and wants to ask for his real name. The criminal demands she tell him why she left the farm. One morning, the girl woke up to the sound of lambs screaming. The farm owner was slaughtering the lambs. Unable to bear it, she picked up a lamb and tried to run away. However, due to exhaustion, she couldn't save the lamb and was sent away herself. After telling her story, the girl didn't get an answer, and was instead escorted out by the guards. That night, the guards brought food to the criminal as requested, complaining about his treatment, but didn't notice the man secretly spit out a nail. The criminal used the nail to unlock his handcuffs and attacked the 2 guards. When the police arrived, they found one guard dead, and the other severely injured but still breathing. They rushed him to emergency care, not realizing he was actually the criminal in disguise. Meanwhile, the girl continued her investigation, focusing on the first victim. The captured girl was also actively trying to save herself. She called the dog over and threw up a rope, hoping to use the dog's strength to climb out of the well, but she ultimately failed. Bill came looking for the dog, and the girl took the opportunity to threaten him, demanding he bring her a phone. As they confronted each other, the doorbell rang. It was the girl investigating the case, standing outside, unaware of the man's true identity. She kept asking questions. A moth flew out, and the girl realized the man in front of her was the criminal Bill. She quickly drew her gun and pointed it at him, but the man took the chance to escape. The girl followed closely. She entered the place where he held people, continuing to pursue Bill's trail. In the darkness, the man watched the girl secretly. Sensing something, the girl suddenly turned, firing several shots, quickly ending the man's life of crime. The police held a grand celebration for the girl, At the banquet, she received a call from the criminal, who said he was going to visit an old friend, then disappeared into the crowd.